Did you know Disney has its own private island in South Carolina? Welcome to Disney's Hilton Head. So I'm actually here in February, but what is Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort? It's one of the three DVC resorts that are not actually in a Disney park or next to a Disney park. You've got this, you've got Vero Beach on the east coast of Florida, and you've also got Alani. Everyone knows about Alani. That is easily my favorite one of the three. But the idea behind this was opened in 1996, and it was part of the DVC expansion that was supposed to have places not just associated next to Disney parks, trying to attract people. To be honest with you, it hasn't really worked. And in this video, I'll cover a room tour, a little bit about the resort, and what I think needs to be done about it. As we enter the room on this room tour portion, then we're in room 1112. As soon as you come through the door, on the left-hand side, you've got your standard DVC kitchen with your Keurig, the associated pods that you get from Joffrey's, and a pretty standard approach. There's nothing on the wall next to me, so I'm not quite sure why we looked in there. First thing presented with is a closet that's kind of jammed, but you can still get in there and see there's plenty of hangers, extra pillow and blanket, and your usual Hoover and ironing board. Stepping into the bathroom, that's me. Stepping into the bathroom, then you can see that it's actually quite large, and you'll find that because this is an older DVC room, as the entire resort is older, the rooms are generally a little bit bigger than you'll get in other places like the Riviera, for example. As we just take in the size of the main room, then I'm immediately caught by how bright, airy, and large the space is. This is a connecting door if you're able to book the room next door, but I'll immediately show how the Murphy bed works. So this is the idea: it's a seat for the most time, but if you need it, there's another double bed there. Drop that down, really easy to do. There's an instruction manual on the right hand side, and I foresee no issues at all. Plenty of plugs and charging ports on this, which is good to see for what is an older room. As always, we've got the welcome sign on the television, which is always a friendly reminder. The bed feels pretty decent, and I can confirm actually after testing after the fact, it was pretty good. Plenty of light and airy space, as I mentioned before. Some nice pictures on the wall here as you get in a lot of Disney resorts. They throw characters in just to make it feel a little bit more at home. A good seating area here where you could conduct some work if you wanted, and again, just that view of how big the room is before we take a step outside. So this is located within the main building itself for Disney's Hilton Head Resort. Lovely seating area here, and I'm a big fan of how large the balcony is, with this scenic view to a certain degree, but I note the reason why this tree is here is because you can actually see other people's apartments, not DVC, not Disney's Hilton Head, but you can actually see other apartments from across the way here. Going back inside now, you can see and just another picture of the room. It's really quite large, it's really quite impressive, and I'm actually a fan of these bigger, older rooms you get at some of the older resorts. So, sidebar, after playing with this, it would appear that no matter what I do, I have managed to jam the fold down bed. The Murphy bed is stuck, so I've had to call maintenance. Good, showing its age. So I just stepped out to actually get stuff from the car, and well, the maintenance guy came, didn't he? Come?
Yeah, he was here for 10 seconds.
What did he do?
He just pushed a hinge in and then pushed it flat.
So it turns out there was a hinge that I didn't know about, so now I look both incompetent and stupid, but there we go. Food options at Hilton is quite limited. There's the Tide Me Over quick service, and that is literally it. And that closes at 5 p.m. There's not much in the way of options. We had some shrimp, some grilled shrimp, and I had some fish and chips, which as a Brit is an essential thing to test, and actually wasn't too bad. So how was lunch?
It was a lot of shrimp.
A lot of shrimp.
A lot of shrimp, but in a good way.
$31 something though. It's quite expensive. Not just for the shrimp to clarify, that was for the fountain drink to share and some and mine as well. But
Like my shrimp was $12.99, but it was designed as like a shareable appetizer rather than like as a portion for one person.
you had it all by yourself.
Because you're not going to eat shrimp.
I'm not going to eat shrimp. I'm going to be honest. But next we're going to go. We're here on Valentine's Day, by the way, and there's a Valentine's Day quiz that we're going to do, and so we will let you know how that transpires because I'm sure that we know each other perfectly well by now.
Yes.
It's only been a decade.
Yeah.
We'll let you know how it goes. Next up, we went to Disney's Hilton Head private beachfront at the other side of the sort of main road that cuts through town here. So it was about a 1.5 mile drive, which you could do in theory if you wanted on foot or to cycle there. But the beach house does require access using your key card in order to get in. I imagine during the summer months this place is absolutely packed, but for the most part it's actually really nice. You see the sun's out today, but it's not a warm temperature at all. You can see there's some pool in the corner, not to be confused with the pool that's in the middle of the room, because that's the water-based pool. As we moved onto the beach itself then, it seemed really quite nice. Soft sand underfoot, great views. But one thing to note, this is not a Disney private beach. This is just the public beach, and you'll be able to see behind us, there's all these different apartment complexes that anybody could buy, anybody could stay at, and it means that it's not really Disney-esque. This property itself must be worth a fortune given how expensive Hilton Head, South Carolina actually is, and I can only imagine what those sea view rooms would cost if you wish to purchase a property in that complex. So we've just come down to the pool area, and obviously I'm not going to film the pool because there's children in the pool, and that's not the kind of video that this is. So with that in mind, though, how did you find the Valentine's quiz thing that we did?
I thought it was really great, and the staff put in 100%. I think we've experienced here that it's Disney kind of service, but with the addition of kind of Southern service as well.
Yeah, I was really impressed actually, but unfortunately there was only two of us, and so it was kind of awkward. But they made a real effort to try and incorporate us into it, so that was fun. They did the same sort of thing at Vero Beach, and I think partly because of just how these Disney resorts are set up, they kind of have to do that because there's not too much to do around here.
No, and we said at Vero Beach it made it feel quite cruise shippy, but I don't have that same vibe here.
Yeah, the Vero Beach was a cruise ship on land. It was really weird. It didn't help we had just come from doing a cruise, so that's kind of why we thought it. But I was also really impressed, as you saw earlier, the resort that they've got on the other side, the beach house that they've got, that is prime real estate around here in South Carolina, especially Hilton Head. Like that is going to be millions if they choose to sell that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think every kind of other bit around it is quite high-rise apartment blocks or hotels, and they don't actually have a sea view because it's kind of pushed back, but they obviously could have a sea view if the land does have a sea view potential.
Yeah, and one thing we've not discussed yet, but in 2042, all of the DVC contracts are up for Hilton Head, and so Disney can do what they want with it, including new contracts or selling it. And if we're honest, I actually think that's the direction that they might go. We'll talk more about that later, but just one thing now I just want to show you further behind me. So this is just one of like the standard set of rooms. We are in the main building where reception is, the lobby as it would be called. We're in the main bit where the lobby is, and it's the only part that actually has a lift or an elevator, as you call it. Like the rest of it doesn't. So for those who are not necessarily, unable to move, but if you're carrying suitcases up 2 flights of stairs, like you've got to be prepared for that, and that's something that we weren't really tracking, were we?
No, and we're also the only bit that's got our like door to our room is inside. There's only 4 rooms, and we are one of those 4 rooms. Like you literally go through reception, and then there's our rooms. Even the others within the building, although they have the elevator there, kind of motel style. So like the corridor is outside, and obviously it's still a gated community, so it's safe and everything, but.
The benefit of being in the lobby as well, or next to the lobby, is between 3 and 4 p.m. every day, there's complimentary cookies, and that's where we came before we came here, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
But now we're going to go in the pool, so we'll speak to you guys after. Just as a bit of a walk back from the pool to our specific room, there's all these sort of little inject bits. I'm really not describing them, but coming up, you've got like a mini golf bit, and you've got a hammock, which I imagine during the shade in summer would actually be really nice, but for the most part right now it's not really necessary. But they've got all like the golf clubs and golf balls and stuff you can use. I say golf clubs, we really talk about a putter and a golf ball. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They have these luggage cart return areas as well, which is kind of in keeping with the theme. And I will say, this kind of beige rustic theme is actually the theme for the entirety of Hilton Head as an island.
And there's just like trees everywhere.
Yeah,
the whole island is treey.
There really are trees everywhere. But
there's also grills, which would be nice in
yeah,
summer.
there's grills and things, and you can ask to borrow equipment, which, as Tash says, in summer would actually be a great addition. You can stay at Disney's Hilton Head Resort if you're not a DVC member, and it is possible, but the cost to do so would be extortionate because fundamentally this is just like a 3-star hotel. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Yeah, okay, the view's nice and stuff, and if you're in one of these villas, rooms, apartments, whatever you want to call them, it could be quite nice. And again, I imagine in summer it would be really picturesque. But right now, we're in the middle of February. It's sort of 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, sort of 10 degrees, 15 degrees Celsius. It's not very warm, even though I am in flip flops and shorts. Let's talk for a second here about cost. So we are here in the first week of February, second week actually, and we pay 10 points per night, which for those who don't know much about DVC is really cheap. If you wanted to come in January, you could get away with 6 points per night, which is insane. Even the most expensive time of the year, it's middle of summer, 15 points a night, which is incredible value. And compared to what it is at Walt Disney World, honestly, I can't complain. So this is a 3-star hotel, right? And you've got a point you want to make about Disney's star ranking system for their hotels.
They make no sense
Why?
because the Grand Floridian is a 5-star,
As it should be.
as it should be. Agreed. Then you've got the likes of Animal Kingdom Lodge, and you've got the Beach Club, and quite a few of the deluxe resorts are classed as 4-star.
Which makes sense. You can't have a deluxe resort that's not a 4-star at least.
No. And then you've got the likes of Art of Animation, Pop Century, the All Stars, all of those, and they are classed as 3-star.
Yeah. Well, they're not 4-star, are they?
No. But they're probably not also 3-star. This is a 3-star.
So you're saying that the All-Star Resort should be 2-star?
Yeah, when Saratoga Springs, which is pretty similar to this, is also a 4-star.
But we'll be staying at Saratoga Springs in April and expect to review accordingly.
And I think Saratoga Springs and Animal Kingdom Lodge are classed as deluxe resorts. And then you've got the value resorts, so they're 4-stars, and then you've got value resorts of 3-stars. So where are your mid-tiers sitting as well?
No, I understand that. I do. You're saying the moderate resorts, because some of the moderate resorts are going to be classed as 4-star, like Caribbean Beach, when you've got the All Stars at 3 stars. No, it's a good point, but I would ask the audience: do you think the All Star Resort should be a 2-star? Please let us know down in the comments. Thank you for your valuable input. So as I sit here outside the main reception lobby of Hilton Head, we've been here for 3 days now, and I've got a few thoughts that I want to share with you. My first thought is this is a nice place. I can imagine in the height of summer that Hilton Head as an island is heaving with people. I do observe, however, that this is supposed to be a Disney resort. And outside of some references to Mickey or some signs as to the distance for the other resorts, I honestly don't really see it. It's a 3-star hotel, and I think that's probably fair. There's so much I think they could do with this, but why would you come to South Carolina just to come to this resort? I don't think you do. But also, South Carolina, especially the southeast portion of South Carolina, isn't somewhere that you pass through frequently anyway. So I'm not sure what Disney were doing with this. Vero Beach kind of makes sense because, okay, that's about 2.5 hours east. Well, yeah, 2.5 hours east of Walt Disney World. So you can do a day trip if you want, or you can sort of stick it on the end of your holiday. But for this, you're not realistically going to be going to Walt Disney World, aren't you, here? And it's not like Alani over in Hawaii, because that is a very captive audience, because let's face it, you're not going to any park if you're over there. So this strikes me as a bit of a miscalculation. I mentioned earlier about 2042. That's when the contract for all of the original DVC signees onto this resort, that's when it comes up. That's when it's up for sale. And honestly, I don't think Disney are going to renew it, and I don't think they should. This could be sold off to Hilton or Marriott or whoever. The real estate value of the land by the waterfront alone is going to be millions of dollars. There's apartment complexes to the left, apartment complexes to the right. It just makes sense for them to sell it, which in a way is kind of sad. I was hoping for a really Disney-fied experience here, and the service was great as usual. You've got the classic Disney service plus your southern hospitality. There's no food offerings. The pool is fine, nothing to write home about. I have been, on balance, slightly disappointed. Would I come again? If I was in South Carolina, I would come again. But how often and how often is that going to be the case? I'm never here. I've come here for it. Transport to get here, you either drive from somewhere or there is an island, there is an airport in Savannah, Georgia, which is about an hour's drive away. But even then, they are short internal flights. If you're an international consumer, you're not going to be coming here to do it. So overall, a little bit disappointed. Is it better than Vero Beach? Well, I've not been bitten alive by little beasties on the beach all day, so in that sense, it's a win. Is it better than Alani? Absolutely not, but it's also a lot cheaper than Alani. If you stayed here and you love Hilton Head, please do let me know what you think. Similarly, if you stayed here and you don't like Hilton Head, please let me know what you think. We're interested in a lot of views. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this. It's been a genuine pleasure to speak to you all. And if you have any thoughts, comments, queries, let us know down in the comment section below. And until then, please stand clear of the doors. Bye, everybody.